Back when we were young, things were so easy. Now it's all become so damn deceiving. They tie you down for just believing in all of the things that you've been dreaming. Don't get too close to the sun, they say. It's too bumpy of a road to head. Stay closer to the ground, cause everyone is found. It's only in your head. Don't get too close to the sun, they say. It's too bumpy of a road to head. Stay closer to the ground, cause everyone is found.
Yo, it's your boy JB with Reggae 360. This is episode number 8, the Ocho, with For the Vibes by Reggae 360. And I am here with a very special individual. His name is Mark, aka Mr. Roly Poly with the Dabba Ranch himself. Mark, how are you?
Man, I'm good, but I think it's episode 9.
You know what? I lost track, man. I love every episode. I have fun doing this goddamn thing. It could be episode 100. You know? What episode is it? 9? Let's get that straight first.
I think it's 9.
This is a big episode. We need
I'm
things
always
to be
wrong,
on point.
Yeah, it's episode 9. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys coming out once again. We got big things popping today.
Let me tell you, man. I got in trouble last week for saying that we had somebody that was more special than the special individual. Mark right next to me. I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to have to do it again. We are blessed with the presence of another even more special individual, Mr. AKA Icarus Rhodes himself, AKA the man, the myth, the legend behind the super group Tropidelic, a man with focus, determination, grit, grind, passion, level-headed, resolved in his mission, an absolute legendary beast himself, Mr. Matt Rhodes. How are you, sir?
What's up, buddy? That's quite an intro. I don't know. Do you mean like special, like short bus special, or like what do you? I don't know.
Well, I'm on the short bus, man. You made the cut for the big bus.
All right, man. All right, sounds good.
Well, we are blessed with your presence, man, because I know you and your band have a lot of big things going on right now. We might as well jump right into it, man. Friday was a big day. Am I right? You guys dropped a little something special for the people. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. It's just dropped a new single, and pretty stoked about it. It's been pretty good so far as the response and all that.
Yes, sir. You guys worked with an interesting collaboration on that one too. Wookie Foot, man. That's something special. How'd that come about?
I've been going to see them out here at a place called Nelson Ledges for a lot of years. And we did some dates with them in 2017, and I got to meet Murphy from Wookie Foot. He's the lead guy, and dude's just like a straight inspiration. Like he just like motivated me on so many levels, and I think he does that, to a lot of other people too, obviously, but. I was like, man, if there's a way I can get him involved on something, and then I had this track, and it's like I'm trying to think out of the box sort of ideas that I could, incorporate, and I was like, man, he'd be like perfect for something like this, and shot him an email, and I heard back from him about a week later, and he said, dude, I like this idea a lot, and it's been smooth ever since, and like I said, we just try to do something different, and I think they're like an artist that a lot of these people on this East Coast reggae scene may or may not be aware of, but they certainly influenced me in a lot of sort of this Midwest sort of movement, and I think it's like a great fit.
Yeah, I mean, from hearing the song, it definitely sounds like a great fit. So you said you've been seeing Wookie Foot for years now. How would you describe their sound?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't know, but like I like it. Like it's cool to me because if you go through some of their catalog, you're gonna hear even more diverse sort of music than you would hear in something that we put out. But they got bluegrass, they got stuff that's hip hop, they got stuff that's sort of jammy, they got stuff that's just like otherworldly and like sounds like almost it's like you know, Eastern sort of culture based. Like it's crazy, and and all of it's done like so well that like it's really inspiring to me, somebody who's trying to make sort of, you know, a diverse array of different, you know, songs, to hear somebody like this that's done so well for so long, and it's just like so inspiring in what he does. So yeah, I don't think he'd be appreciated being put in a box just like I don't. So, you know, but he does a lot of different things, and it's always on point.
Respect.
That's tight, man. That shit brings me back. In 2008, I was living in Minnesota. All right, I was going to school, and I was working at a little Mexican restaurant. I was a line cook, and I remember the head cook, just this awesome. He was like a stoner, a younger guy, and he loved Wookie Foot. He would blast them every single day. And when I came out to the East Coast, shortly thereafter, I have not run into one person that knew Wookie Foot. So the fact that, Matt, you got those guys on a song, you guys are on a national scale, and like that's just dope. I just thought that collab was fire, so I wanted to hear about it. That's cool, man. That's dope. I like it.
Yeah, so cats are like super popular and successful in where they are comfortable with and what they do, and so we've been blessed to go out and play with them in some of these places, and we see it firsthand. And to me, that they're not only inspirational from like a musical front or anything outside of the music, as much as like their business is in line. They know what they're good at. They know where to go, what they do, what they're comfortable with, and they do it extremely well, and they've done it for a long time. That's inspiring to me, because a lot of times people say, oh, you gotta tour the whole country relentlessly for a friggin' decade, or you gotta go draw in Southern California and do this and that, and like that's not really how it is. And these guys prove that. Like they have their niche, and they have their markets, and they kill it, and they're well respected, and I appreciate that.
Hey, you got to get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? I like it, dude. I like it.
Right.
Are they from your neck of the woods?
Wookie Foot?
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, they're from Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
Shouts out Minnesota.
Yeah, they're from Minneapolis. So like that's also like I also really like that they're from the Midwest, and not only from the Midwest, they're from a place like Minneapolis, which not to discredit any music coming out of Minneapolis, because there's been a lot of great music coming out of Minneapolis. That's even some that's personally influenced me, but you don't hear a whole lot of, you know, stuff coming out of Minneapolis on the regular, like Atmosphere, obviously, and the whole Rhyme Sayers thing. That was a big influence to me coming up, and you know, got your obvious Prince, and I'm sure there's a lot more, but it's just something you don't hear like you know, often, like, oh, this so and so's coming out of Minneapolis, you know. And then I don't want to negate our homie John Wayne the Pain, also very special dude and a friend of ours that's been just a cool ass cat, man. And he's you know, he's riding a similar wave to some of us, and you know, it's just cool to meet Midwest dudes like that.
Nice, man. Yeah, so it's been quite the week. You know, you guys dropped that single Icarus. It's fucking fire. If you guys haven't heard it, well, you heard a little bit of it in the beginning of the podcast, but go check it out. It's a dope song. I feel like there's a meaning behind that one, Matt. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, just you know, it's just kind of like there's like a recurring theme for me for some of this stuff, and I very rarely will sit down with the intent to like write a song about this or that. It's kind of just what comes out at the time, and it may just be a hook or something, but the recurring theme is kind of like, you know, fuck what these naysayers say, do your thing. And I think some of that kind of came through on this one.
For sure.
And you know, even further than that, it's kind of like if you look at the story of Icarus, it's like it didn't end well, obviously, you know, like
yeah.
So, you know, we're all kind of heading to the same end game, you know. So you might as well take your chances and take your shots while you can here. because ultimately the result's going to be the same for all of us, you know?
So, yeah, speaking of the story of Icarus, John and I were talking about this. So, like, you know, his father had warned him of complacency, right? And not to fly too low or too high. And I feel like a lot of that was coming through in your lyrics in that song.
Right, right, exactly. So there's, I mean, I don't usually like to get into detail about stuff, but to vaguely say it, like, you can interpret it how you want to. It was just kind of what came out of me, and I didn't like I said, I very rarely will ever, I can't think of one example, honestly, where I sat down, I'm like, all right, this song is going to be about this, and I focus and I write it about that, which maybe I should try to do more, but for now, it's just been like, you know, I'm sitting in the car, and I'm like, this cool melody, and a couple words come with it, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then maybe I'll elaborate from that, but, you know, it just comes on the fly, so.
Hey, man, it's been working for you so far.
You're right. Shit. Whatever you're doing is working, man. You're bringing good songs to people, man. If that's the way it comes about, so be it, man. You don't need to explain yourself, man. Regardless, we love it. And I like the whole shout out to Greek mythology, Icarus. I mean, that's just fire. A lot of your music is very motivational. It's very deep, man. That's what a lot of people really fuck with Trop in a real way, man. You guys got a very diverse sound and hit a lot of different points, man. I'm curious, is that intentional, man? Is that kind of division, or is it just like you said, if you feel a song, you put it out, and then people interpret it how they want?
I mean, it's both. I mean, like, I don't. There's something to be said for having sort of like at least on like a per album basis, there's something to be said for having a concise group of songs that kind of tell a story together, or at least kind of carry a similar vibe. So that's like, it's something that is a consideration for sure, but not at the cost of doing what sort of comes naturally. So it's a balance, but I mean, I don't see myself ever just straight up writing just like one sort of kind of music. Like I got these, I'm like, every time I get something going, I'm already thinking about the next one and the next one. And like, it's been a long time dream of mine to like do a bluegrass record. And like, I'm thinking we're leaning towards having like a hip hop record coming out, and, you know, and hip hop in the Tropidelic sense, you know, it's all kind of be true to ourselves. We're not going to go Dr. Dre on everyone's asses, but like, yeah, I got too many feelings and too many influences to kind of contain it within sort of any sort of, you know, predetermined genre. So, you know, I guess it's a balance though, because you can't have 9 genres on a CD and expect someone to kind of understand it, or at least the majority of people to kind of wrap their heads around it. So it's a balance.
Well, to that point, you're going to attract a larger audience, I feel, because people listen to different stuff, right?
Yeah. So like, I mean, like a good example is like, I mean, the Chili Peppers, or like, you know, even to a degree 311 and stuff, like,
yeah,
they did a bunch of different kind of styles and whatever, and it worked out for them because they set themselves apart. You know, we're not remotely close to a level of those sort of bands, so it has worked really well for us, and it's also worked against us in the sense that, you know, we can't quite put us in a box, so that sometimes we don't fit in one opportunity or another because we're just like not quite digestible enough. But you know, it works both ways. So like, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I guess, you know, ultimately, this is what we're doing, and, you know, hopefully it separates us. You know. Yeah,
for sure, man. You guys are definitely carving your own path.
Well, shit, and if you really think about it, I mean, take it all the way back to go to a throwback, and kind of the whole reason why we're here. Take it all the way back to Sublime. You listen to some of those old Sublime CDs, man, they got everything. They've got hip hop, ska, punk rock. I mean, you know, you want to talk about the OG, Bradley Noel. Like, I feel like he would say the similar kind of thing Matt's saying right now is like, don't put me in a box. Like, you know, you have these musical inspirations, man. You chase them. I love it. I respect it, man. But that's cool, man. That's cool to kind of like you get a little behind the scenes, man, and understand kind of, you know, your take on things as you put out this dope music. So much respect, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, sure.
So outside of this single, man, outside of the stuff that Tropidelic has going on, man, you guys are just absolutely killing it right now. You announced some other big news, right? And it has to do with, you know, an affiliation with a brand right now that's just on point. That is Ineffable Records. Can you talk about that? I mean, is that do we have to sign an NDA? Is that on the DL? Like, can you talk about how that came about and kind of what that means for you a little bit?
Yeah. So yeah, obviously these are the big players in the game right now. They got a whole lot of people and groups under their umbrella that are doing big things, and we're stoked to put out this record through them. So first single came out yesterday, obviously, and we're gonna kind of got like a working timeline for things. So we're definitely wheels in motion, and things are gonna be coming pretty quickly here in the next little bit. But
I bet, yeah.
Definitely stoked for the new partnership and the relationship, and excited to see what's gonna come of it.
You know, I think that the timing was pretty interesting too. The Uglies had announced that Buzz EP with Ineffable too. But working with Ineffable, do you see any sort of extra value add coming from working with those folks?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that their reach is big. It's a big reach. They got a lot of people under their umbrella. I mean, if you go to your website, you can see it all for yourself. I know you guys are in the know. So there's a lot of different things that can come from that, and a lot of the moves that you make are about networking and stuff too. So, if you can enter into a situation that puts you in touch with a lot of these important players, then you're making solid moves, in my opinion. It's all about who you know.
Absolutely, man. I agree with you there.
Hey, your network determines your net worth. Okay, I love it. One thing you
There you
said,
go.
Matt, you said the wheels are in motion. And I know nothing's been announced, nothing's been officially talked about, but I have to believe, as a fan of Tropidelic, with his new connection with Ineffable, that there's got to be some new music down the road. Can you talk about that? Can you tease the fans, or do you have to shut it down? We can't discuss that.
No, yeah, there's definitely an album coming out. So gonna drop some singles. Yeah, so it'll be this summer sometime. So we haven't officially said that much yet, even, but I don't see a problem saying it. It's gonna be this summer, and there'll be a couple singles, and we worked on some videos on this last tour we just got off of. So trying to come heavy with some content and just pack a punch with all this new material coming out, and I think the fans really gonna dig it.
Damn,
Yeah, man.
You just made some people's day right there, boy. I tell you what, man, you got some people excited.
Got my needle moving a little bit. You know what I mean?
Dude, my needle is fully torqued right now.
Your needle is fully torqued. I'm not going to get into that. Hey, Rhodes, is it safe to say that Icarus is going to be on the new album?
Yeah, that'll be on there. So
is this unofficially the first single?
yeah.
I love it. Now, so, I mean, you're talking summertime. We're not looking to nail down any dates, but, obviously July, August, probably somewhere in that area or something like that. But do you have any plans on releasing 1, 2, 3 more singles as we move forward?
Yeah, there'll be a couple more singles and then the album. So, but
Get ready, people.
that's all I know really right now is that we're heading towards that goal, and everything's gonna come pretty rapid fire in between now and then. So stay tuned on it.
Awesome. So, last time we spoke, actually JB had started the interview by asking you what you're excited about on a personal level. And I think your answer was basically along the lines of, it takes you a lot to get excited because right now you're focused on grinding. So,
Right.
JB, ask him again.
Well, yeah, no, that's spot on, man. Last time I was like, hey, man, outside of music, like, what are you excited about in life? You're like, man, honestly, it takes a lot to get me excited. Right now, I'm just on the grind, man. I'm on the grizzle. So I guess, man, same question, Mark, like you said.
Yeah.
What are you excited about outside of music, man? What do you got going on? I mean, anything's moving the needle for you or what?
No, I mean honestly, like I was excited about having this Murphy from Wookie Foot in this song. I was like genuinely excited.
Yeah.
I mean, that's music. That's not outside of music, but my answer is the same, bro. Like, I'm meeting some old friends from college today that I haven't seen in a long time, so I guess I'm a little excited about that. I mean, but yeah, like, I just been up working. Like I just been working. It's my first off weekend in like 2 months, and I'm just freaking working, dude. Like that's all my focus right now.
Bro, you're working right now. You're on a podcast, man. Even
Well,
on your week off, you're working, dude. I love it.
I'm taking a break, sipping some coffee for you guys, but like,
there you go.
Yeah, it does take a lot, and like, it's like a drug or anything else with these shows and everything. Like it takes more and more, and I think that's just kind of how the process is too. Like it used to get excited to play any show and get nervous a little bit or whatever, and now it's got to be thousands of people before I start to feel that butterfly. Not to say that I'm not excited or don't love what I'm doing. It's just like you get accustomed to things just like you would if you were whatever, anything else,
Yeah.
So you kind of get like a tolerance for it. And not only that, but it's, it's part of the growth and everything. Like you become more comfortable doing what you do. And, if it puts you outside of your comfort zone, that's when you start to get those little feelings in your chest, So
Ooh.
that's a healthy thing, though. That's how it's supposed to be.
Those little feelings in your chest, man. I love it.
Emotions, man. That's life. That's how you know you're alive.
Shit, and talking about, man, what that grind has created for you and your band, man. I got a throwback question for you, man. I was doing a little research, like I always do for these kind of interviews, man. And I'm looking, bro, back in 2011. Okay, first of all, I know Chop is active on Twitter. Matt, you not so much. It's been a little while since you tweeted, but I went back in the day, 2011. Your first tweet was, "I am super stoked about the music that I'll be putting out in spring. ... will be epic, comma. My 10 Twitter followers hear it first." And only one person liked that tweet. So my question for you, what is different from then until now, man? Talk about that, where you're at now, man. You guys are touring the nation, blowing up on fire. You look back at that moment, 2011, you're on your phone. Maybe you don't really know how to use Twitter. You throw that out there, and now here you are, man.
You had 10 followers.
10 followers. That's something, man. That's more than most.
Do I have any more now? Because I literally haven't logged on Twitter probably since then.
Let's just say Tropidelic's got a pretty healthy following. Yeah, we'll say that.
All right, I don't know no offense taken. I don't feel bad. That social media stuff too, dude. I'm the kind of dude like I can't like it's a total necessary evil when you're doing any kind of like brand awareness, no matter what your business is. But me personally, I'd rather live off the grid, but like it's unfortunately something I can't do, and the position we're in is just too important, and this is how you reach people, so it's necessary. But as far as your question, as far as what's changed between now and then, I don't know, man. Like I don't remember writing that post or anything like that. But just even looking back to like my college years when the idea of this whole thing first started, like I can't believe. Like I just, if you had told me back then that we'd be on the 311 Caribbean cruise, or playing the Warped Tour, or selling out venues, and like there's just no way. Like I wouldn't have believed you. I couldn't have fathomed it. So it's really incredible, and I try to do a better job of taking time to reflect. And honestly, something like this kind of forces me to. But I feel like I am so just kind of focused on what's next and what I need to get done today that I don't take the time like I should to really take that all in. And that's unfortunate sometimes, but it has been a blessing overall. And I'm blessed to be where I'm at and doing what I'm doing. And life's short, man, and you got to appreciate sometimes, and I'm trying to do a better job of that.
You're an interesting guy. We talked about 8 years ago, you put that tweet out, and over the past 8 years, you said, you could have never fathomed being on the 311 cruise and, maybe playing Cali Roots last year and doing a lot of things that you're doing now. You guys have your own festival. Are you the type of guy who just like 24/7 stays on your grind and that's how things come to fruition for you? Or are you the type of guy who believes in the power of the universe, where you just put things out there and things come together for you?
I'm trying to be that latter guy that you said,
Yeah.
because there is, and it's people like this, like Mark Murphy over there, and some people I've met in the road. That's I wish it was that easy for me, but that, I come from, a military father. I was raised on hard work and discipline, and that's how you get things done. And honestly, it's kind of snowballed so much where that's not nearly enough, like to maintain what's going on right now. So, but that's what got me to the point where I was able to enlist people to help me, and I'm extremely thankful for the team I have involved, because all this stuff doesn't happen without these very important people around me that not only support me, but they support the whole project and the festival and everything else. It's just there's just no way I could do this on my own. In fact, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, where would I be at right now if so and so had to dip out or do other things? Like it'd be devastating. Like it takes like an army, and I've been privileged to be able to have these people around me that keep these things moving for me. So,
speaking of an army behind you, you definitely have that, man, because you have a lot of fans out there of the work, the art that you put out there. And I wanted to take a moment, all right? Imagine right now you're talking directly to your super fans, your super supporters, the people out there on social media repping
The Tropidelic.
Tropidelic. The people that are just like, maybe sometimes it's a little too much, but you know what? They fuck with you heavy, dude. They love what you do. What do you say to those people, man? Let them know. I mean, I imagine they're listening. What would you say to those people that really, 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 really fuck with you in a real way?
I would say thank you, and that just I try to be, and we try to be accessible and available, and there's again like this interview is doing, as far as forcing me to reflect and kind of take it all in a bit. There's very few things that do that quite like somebody reaching out and saying, yo, this song or your music or whatever got me through this fucked up thing, or so and so. It's just like it'll catch you off guard, and I'll be so focused on what I'm doing and my own piddly petty bullshit that I'm working on or whatever's going on, and then someone will send a message that just like totally crumble the walls, and it just hits me like lightning, like whoa, like this is so much bigger and important than whatever my blinders are on for today. And I guess I said don't hesitate to reach out. And I think I said it before to you guys. Like, I don't even like the word like fan. I don't like saying it. I don't like. It's like we're trying to create a family here, and there's been people that have been introduced through the music that have formed like long lasting friendships. And as much as it's probably unrealistic to be personal friends with everybody we come across. Like I always want to be kind of accessible in there, and we'll always be hanging out in front of the shows, and we're not hard to find. And it's really, especially where I'm at in my life, talking to people and these personal relationships are like the biggest sort of value that I get from a day to day. As hard as it can be sometimes with the schedule and everything else, like, my partying days are over. So it's just about these like meaningful experiences and relationships that kind of give me my life force,
Damn, dude, that's real, bro. That is very real. I respect that, and I feel like I'm in a similar boat, and I feel like a lot of people that love your music are in a similar boat, man. And your message really resonates, man. You really affect the people that listen to your music, and that's just fire, man. And talking about some of these like interactions with people and some of these little things that bring value. A question for you, man, like outside of music, just what are some little things in life that make you happy, man? Just like things that you enjoy.
I like working out. I mean, I like.
Yeah.
I like spending time with my girlfriend and my family,
There you
which
go.
it can be difficult with how crazy things can get, but especially like I got friends and stuff. People are like, oh, I'm living with my parents or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like living with my parents sounds pretty good about now. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel comfortable there. Like you got people that love you deeply and want what's best for you. Like and my parents don't live in Cleveland either, so I got to travel. So when I'm there, it's just like so meaningful to me. And same with my other family and stuff. Like it's like I said, it's just more what I said about these relationships and these experiences. Like I like to get out and do things when I actually have some free time, which is very little. But travel and stuff like that. I just was thinking that money comes and goes, but time only goes. It's about the experiences, and that's what I try to do with my spare time when I have some.
Damn, money comes and goes, but time only goes. If that's not a goddamn lyric in the next song you guys put out, I'm gonna be upset, man. That's awesome,
I
man.
don't know, man. My money always seems to be gone.
Yeah, that's real too. Shit.
No, I hope nobody said that before, because I thought of it the other day, or I think I thought of it before and I saw it in some notes or something, and I was like, oh man, I like that. I better.
You know what? You can make a fucking Tropidelic bumper sticker with that.
You heard it here first, all right?
T-shirt or something.
Probably some rapper from the '80s, like put it out there. But you know what? Here it is today, dude. I like it. Listen, stepping away from the micro level that we're talking about, these fan interactions, we're getting real deep, man. We're talking about real shit. Let's take a step back, look at the macro level, the bigger picture of Tropidelic and what you guys are doing and accomplishing right now in the reggae rock scene, because it's just phenomenal to see. I'm curious, man. You guys have had the pleasure of working with artists like and touring with people like Sublime with Rome, for example. Okay, you guys have obviously have a great relationship with Bumpin' Uglies. You guys have toured with some amazing bands that people love, and I'm just curious, man. Like, are there any bands that you guys really just gel with, that you just genuinely like have a good time with and really fuck with on a personal level? Or when you get to that level, I mean, is it just business as usual? You know what I mean? Like, who out there do you guys really really enjoy being around, working with, that you just vibe with?
It's I think that goes with, like any other kind of relationships being built. The more time you spend with people, the more you discover your commonalities and see if you vibe or whatever. So like a lot of that is based on who we're around most, which is definitely the Bumpin'. I said we tour with them a ton, just like on a kind of playing field of where our heads are at as far as what we're doing and what's important. I think we vibe pretty well with them, but also we just did like a run with Roots earlier about it, and those guys are like just the nicest dudes ever. Love those guys. Love Good Nature.
Respect. We had them up here in New Hampshire
So
playing
talented.
at Pipe Green Brewery recently. Got to get intimate with them. We did some acoustic sessions. Great guys. Love those guys. Nothing but love for them.
Yeah. So for us, it's a lot of the bands that we've seen a lot because we're familiar and we're comfortable. So that's who I would shout out. Of Good Nature is another one. So it's really about the familiarity and your comfort level. Because anytime you're touring with somebody new too, you're kind of both feeling each other out. So it's hard for me to evaluate without having been on the road or around somebody for a while. But we definitely feel comfortable with guys like that.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
So, yeah, I got a question for you. So, how do you keep the sex from running wild, or do you just have to turn a blind eye and let those guys do their thing?
The sex, dude. I don't know if everyone knows what we mean by that.
If they're Tropidelic fans, they definitely know.
That's a balance thing too. I mean, it's just a balance. It's just a balance, man.
Hey, for those who don't know who the sex is, let them know.
It's Derek on trumpet and James, the MC and trombone player. Yeah, I mean, like, those guys are just like full of ideas, and they're hilarious and stuff. And you know, we try to balance long-term goals with the short-term goals, and just like fun as well. So, there's definitely been conversations, but it's it's a little give and take.
That's a great answer. Any guys that go out on a Friday or Saturday night try to balance short-term goals with long-term goals. That's great advice. I like that, man. That's
Yeah. Going to your live shows, one thing that really, really separates you guys, aside from your music, is the fact that you guys jump out in the crowd and get out there and start singing and playing music with everybody. Is that something that's going to continue? And is that something that's also very difficult to do at certain venues?
Yeah, I don't see a point where we would stop doing that, but I know there's been concerns and it's happened where one of these horn players would get just like straight like jammed on their trombone and almost knock a tooth out and stuff. So like the only thing that would ever stop us would be like legit safety concerns. But I'm hoping that doesn't really come to fruition like that. But it's again what's something that set us apart. So I don't see us like stopping altogether anytime soon. But yeah, so like I love doing that stuff and keeping the show lively and interacting. It just plays into more what I said about accessibility and trying to do all you can on like a one-on-one kind of level with people.
Oh yeah, and
fan audience.
Speaking of your band, right? And we in this interview, conversation / shit show, we have learned a lot about you, your philosophies on life, who you are as a person, what the band has going on, big things that are happening. To take it back and just talk about the band, Tropidelic, man, I want you to go through and say something positive about each member of the band. Let the people know, man. Spread that love, spread those good vibes. One positive thing about each member of the band.
All right. James, let's start with James. James is he's a people person, man. He loves meeting everybody, and for like a task focused person like myself, that's motivational to me. Like he's just a good dude overall, and that's kind of his thing. And that's really, I think, his forte is being that person that wants to meet everybody, and like that's kind of his focus as far as off the stage. And I think that's a great thing, because it's somebody like me. I as much as I love meeting people and stuff, my focus on a day-to-day basis usually is what do I need to get done here, So that's cool. And then Derek's just like, I credit him for a lot of support for the changes and the stuff I went through. The dude has done and accomplished a whole lot that most people can't overcome in a lifetime, and that's just been, the crux of a lot of things that we've undergone and I've undergone. That just him being there and being an example is incredible. And then, not to mention, he's just like full energy and good ideas as far as content, which is awesome. Bobby's just a solid dude, just a real good dude, and he's approachable. He's a great guitar player. So, and he's just like, you kind of always know what to expect from him, and he kind of maintains a kind of this certain level that it was nice, because some people in this, especially, and I've been one of them in the past, like, will just fly off the handle, or you don't know what you're getting from one day to the next. I've definitely been like that in my day, but Bobby's not one of those guys. And Pags is probably like the straight MacGyver of like the reggae rock scene. Like, he's built out our buses. He's fixed our buses when it broke down. He just has a wealth of knowledge that I don't come across too often. He can do a lot of different things that most all of us can't do. And Rex, last but not least. Rex has been like a blessing to have around. He came on, he's the most recent guy. I think it's been like almost 2 years now, maybe something like that, maybe a little less. But anyway, he just like has the most enthusiastic energy, and to have him around, he's also the youngest, but to have him around just been like refreshing. So, and he's got great video skills and stuff too, and he comes with a lot of knowledge of that sort of stuff. He's actually putting together one of the videos that's about to come out in the coming month or two. But I think that's everyone. I feel pretty bad if I forgot somebody at this point.
I think you nailed it, man.
Cool.
So, you know, obviously you guys get a lot of love in Ohio, where you call home. Are there any other spots around the country that showed you a surprising amount of love? Maybe a specific venue or specific locations throughout the country?
Yeah, like Florida's doing real good for us, and there was like a big fan meetup before the show in St. Pete last week. That was pretty cool to see, and we had people traveling to 3, 4, 5 shows all across Florida. So that's pretty cool, and the Northeast is turning out a little better for us too. We didn't go there for a long time, but I think there's a lot more in the works, including there's going to be a big support, just like a week or two of support slots they're about to announce coming up in the Northeast. So it should be pretty cool when that drops.
Awesome. So, in the next few months here, or summertime anyways, a little bit more than a few months, but you got Freak Stomp coming up again. Is this the third year?
Yeah, it's the third year.
Third year. So, myself, I've never been to Freak Stomp. I definitely want to get out there. So, for those who have not been to Freak Stomp yet, how would you briefly describe the experience there and something that people might be able to expect?
It's just a great time and a great place for everyone to get together that we meet all across the country. It's like putting all those special interactions like in one place at one time, and that's like my biggest takeaway from it. That I like the best is seeing so and so who's so important to us, but we might only see once to 3 times a year, with so and so on the complete other side of the country that we feel the same way about, and then meeting each other is just like ignition. It's just it's wild. But the location's badass this year too. It's like an old ski resort. There's a bunch of cabins that sold out pretty quick, but we're just trying to go bigger and better and build this thing up as its own sort of entity. I'm excited.
Do you have any kind of crazy, weird stories that have happened the past couple of years that you'd like to share?
I don't think any of them I want to share, but
you gotta be there to experience it, people.
I will say overall that we're there for that. We're there for the camaraderie and stuff like that. So you won't see as much as the just like straight out of line shit that you might see other places. At least I hope not. Our fans are pretty considerate, and I hope that we kind of parlay that message as best we can. But yeah, so there was very little problems, I guess is what I'm saying. Everything went really smooth in the past couple of years, so trying to keep that track record going.
Excellent. Well, looking forward to seeing you out there.
Oh yeah, brother.
So I know we're getting a little light on time here, so we're going to jump into a different section, something new for this week. Reggae 360 had reached out to some of the fan base and asked them to submit some questions. And so I have just a couple questions here from some fans that have some questions for you. They want to hear your responses. So Pat wants to know, how odd was it playing acoustic in some random guy's basement in Omaha?
Acoustic is always like, we don't do a whole lot of that. That's like not like, we're out there getting crazy. That's sort of like our strength. So it's always something different for us to do the acoustic thing. But that's a good dude. I think I know what he's talking about. That's Pat out in Omaha. He's a good ass dude and a good supporter. So it wasn't that weird. I think he gave us donuts and coffee. So It always lightens the mood.
Big ups to Pat. He's also a writer for Reggae 360.
Okay.
Tony is curious. Why doesn't Trop ever play the song Peace?
Tony, we'll play it for you, bro. I swear, I promise it's going to come one of these days. But I guess the short answer is that was 20, I don't know, at least 3-4 years ago. So there was some different writers involved and different things like that, and that can create issues. But we could bust it out. We'll bust it out for him one of these days. I know who Tony is.
All right, Tony, you heard it there.
So Sean wants to know, do you really put salt and pepper on your mac and cheese?
No.
Never.
Okay.
No.
All right. I got a good one from Jamie. Jamie asks, I'm curious why Rhodes chose to use the Tom Brady line in his verse on the new Bump and Uglies track Buzz. It seems there are so many better things that you could have rhymed with Heyday. Is he a Patriots fan?
No, man, I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm not anti-Patriots or whatever. I frankly don't have the time to really focus on much of any sports anymore. But I don't know, dude. You gotta say something for dudes like just like longevity and like just. I mean, I can't. You can't deny him that if he's not the greatest, he's one of the greatest all time.
Oh, he's the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know.
You're talking to some Patriots fans here, so I was looking for
Yeah.
that question. She elaborates a little bit more, and she says, you could also mention that you could use never quit like Jamie for future references.
Jamie doesn't quit. You're right. She doesn't quit.
Never quit like Jamie. So future performances, there you go. One more from Connor. This is an interesting one. Do you prefer chunky or smooth peanut butter? Also, what's the best place to spread it?
I prefer smooth peanut butter, and I don't know what he's going for, but I guess on wheat bread. I don't know. I don't eat a whole lot of peanut butter or bread anymore, but that's where I put it.
I don't know what he's talking about either, but I mean, you can put it almost anywhere. I mean, it's not cheating if it's your dog.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
And that was fan submission questions right there, baby.
There
I
it
love
is,
it.
wrapped
Oh,
up.
man, that was a great segment.
All right, Matt, we're going to wrap it up with some rapid fire with you. Just hit you with some random words, some random topics here. Give us your quick little first thought off the top of your head, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode 9 up.
All right, let's do it.
First word. Tropaholic.
Love.
Love.
Okay. Mark.
All right, Matt. Hip-hop music.
Love. I don't know. I honestly thought Dr. Dre just because I brought that up earlier.
Dr. Dre. Everyone in the room right now is 30% Dr. Dre today, so.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
I
but
heard that on a Theo Von podcast this morning. I thought it was funny, so.
I love Theo Von as a man. Freak Stomp.
Family.
Ooh.
All right. The future.
Positive.
Tour life.
Beans.
I'm sorry. Beans?
Beans.
Beets.
Like a can of beans.
Beans.
Beans. All right.
It's the magical fruit, isn't it?
I guess so.
The more you eat, the more you toot. Difficult.
College.
Damn. Fear.
You said fear or beer?
Fear.
Beer?
With an F. Like
Oh, fear.
Frankenfort.
Heights.
Heights.
Same here, brother.
How about beer, too? We'll throw that one out there. Beer.
I said Bud Light just because, like, when I was drinking beers, I would, like, get whatever I could. I was drinking, like, 15 of them either way, so I would, like, try to save myself some pain the next day and get, like, the watery-ass beer. So, because it was going down the hatch either way. And if I did some kind of, like, stouts or some shit, I would be dead. So,
Yes, sir.
Bud Light.
When you got 15 beers in you, anything can happen. And not always
Right.
good things.
Not always good things.
Thank God we're at a different phase in our life, man. Respect. Mark,
Yep.
next word.
Jalapeno.
Good. I love jalapenos, man. I always ask for them.
All right, next word. Beast.
Beast?
Yeah.
Dog.
Okay.
I have a feeling where you're gonna go with this one, but snacks.
Snacks? Cliff Bar.
Ah, there we go. I thought you might have said beans again, man.
Yeah. I don't even eat a whole lot of beans, but some of these other guys do. And it just makes me think of like being on the road, just easy beans. I don't know.
Man.
Beans. First album.
Rebirth of the Dope. Don't Google that. Don't look for that.
I definitely won't. Mark, next one. Okay, I'll go. Avocados.
Gross. I used to love avocados, but I ate too much of them one time, and I'm now on that weird place where I smell them. I start to gag, but they're good. I like avocados, but I just ate too much, so I'm on this hiatus.
Damn, you know what? You're so crazy. You are not the first guest that has indulged in avocados too much and has had to take a break.
Yeah.
Article Sound System, lead singer Logan. Shouts out Logan. She is just a dynamic human being. Similar, although she ate so many avocados that she's now allergic. So maybe you're in the same boat. Who knows?
Those guys are. I've been following them just loosely on socials and stuff like that. I'm excited to see what they do. They look and sound very good. So.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, their Sugar Shack sessions are off the hook.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Word. All right, one more. Well, a couple more. Two more. This is the second to last one, and then we're gonna wrap up. Adrenaline.
Shows, stage.
Okay.
Yeah, man. All right, we got one more for you. Reggae 360.
Bros.
Bro.
Yeah, gang.
Appreciate you, man.
I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Matt, we went a little over our time today, but we really, sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate you, man. Love everything that you guys are doing. Looking forward to hearing some new music. I know you get some solo stuff working on, too, so hopefully we hear some more of that.
Dude, just keep representing, dude. You have just a unique perspective, man, and the people need to hear it, man. Keep feeding the people music, man, because they need that shit to get through their day, man. Keep doing what you do, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do, man. Appreciate your mentality, man, what you bring to the table, man. We're big supporters. We're big fans. Anything we do for you, man, let us know. We'll do it, because, God damn it, we are big-time Tropidelic fans and fans of the man, Matt Rhodes. Not even the musician, the man, Matt Rhodes. So big respect, brother. Keep it
Thanks,
up.
man. That means a lot, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
Little fun fact. We are at Reggae 360 headquarters in downtown Manchester, and we are setting up shop right now, and we have a beautiful purple Tropidelic flag we are hanging up right after this is done.
Cool.
Flying that flag, baby.
So,
Awesome, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Of course. Any closing thoughts?
No, just you guys are doing a good thing with what you're doing with Reggae 360, and that I appreciate the hustle, and I wish you guys the best, man, and we're here to support too. So, you need anything from us, let us know, bro.
Likewise, brother. It was great having you today, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. Again, we appreciate you. Good luck with the rest of 2019, and looking forward to seeing you at some shows, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, peace.
All right, brother. Peace.
Bye.